Tonight's suspect arrested. A chase leads to a person of interest being taken into custody in connection to a shooting in Duluth this morning. And mask mandate in jeopardy. Wisconsin Republicans are receiving the governor's face coverings order, are not receiving the governor's face coverings order well. The action they're looking to take. Plus, stimulus stalemate. A bipartisan gridlock remains on Capitol Hill as the extended unemployment benefits come to an end.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Mack. Kristen is on assignment tonight. Thanks for joining us. A chase in a vehicle crashing into a pond preceded a suspect being arrested tonight in connection to a shooting in Duluth that sent one person to the hospital this morning. The shooting happened just before noon in Duluth's Central Hillside neighborhood near Harbor Highlands. A 32-year-old Duluth man was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. According to Superior Police, shortly after the incident, authorities shared a description of a vehicle suspected to be involved in the shooting with Superior police officers. Around noon, a Superior officer saw a vehicle matching the description entering Superior from the Bong Bridge. The officer tried to stop the vehicle, but the driver led authorities on a chase before crashing into a pond in the Billings Park neighborhood. The driver of the vehicle was arrested and is in custody tonight. Duluth police said the person is a person of interest in Friday's shooting, but did not identify the individual or if they are known to the victim. Meanwhile, on the Iron Range, police have seized nearly 180 grams of meth, all in just 3 days. Haven police say they found the meth and 2.5 grams of heroin during traffic stops. During the first stop on July 27th, police found meth and heroin inside a backpack the driver of the car was carrying. In a separate incident on July 30th, officers located about 125 grams of meth from a vehicle near the Maple Hill Community Center. All suspects involved were arrested. Charges are pending. And Dave's here to give us our first look at the weather tonight. Dave, almost no clouds out there today, but that's going to change, huh?
Well, I'm hoping it's going to change, Tony, and we're having a little bit of trouble here with Weather Max. It doesn't want to seem to load up. There it goes.
There we go.
Now we can show you some maps here and try to prove our point, because the sunshine of today is going away thanks to that low pressure system coming in from the west, and it's tracking towards our region, kicking up a couple of showers and storms in its wake, and after midnight tonight, it brews up to a 60% chance, could last through perhaps early Sunday morning. And by the time it goes, I'm thinking a lot of towns could run the range of a quarter to a half-inch worth of rain. On the fringes, maybe not that much. Here's a quick look at the forecast for the weekend. Increasing clouds tonight, leading to that 60-70% storm chance on Saturday. But if that quarter-inch comes Saturday, it'll start to dry up already by Sunday, dry up and cool down. Talk about how long that's going to last in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. New at 10, Wisconsin's mask mandate goes into effect first thing tomorrow, but it may not last long. Senate leaders say Wisconsin Republicans stand ready to strike down Democratic Governor Tony Evers' mask mandate. Republican Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald stopped short of promising the Senate would vote to kill the order. He also didn't say when the Senate might convene to take up the issue. State law gives the legislature authority to revoke the governor's emergency order. Here's a breakdown of what the mandate says. Anyone 5 years and older will be required to wear masks while indoors or in an enclosed space with anyone outside of family. Masks are also recommended if you're outside and social distancing is not an option. Some exceptions to the order include when you're eating, drinking, or swimming. Anyone with health conditions or disabilities is also exempt. Meanwhile, the Sawyer County Sheriff says he supports limiting the spread of COVID-19 and people's choices to wear masks, but his department won't actively enforce this new requirement. In a statement, Sheriff Doug Morotek said the mandate's goal is compliance and education, not punishment. He says they won't respond to calls about people violating the order, but he added that his department will respond to complaints from business owners who need help removing a non-compliant customer from their store. The sheriff says his department appreciates people willingly complying with the mask requirement. Minnesota's governor announced today the state has hit a major milestone. That would be 1 million coronavirus tests conducted since the start of the pandemic. Governor Tim Walz set a goal of 20,000 tests conducted daily. The state leveraged partnerships between universities and hospitals to make that happen. Walz says testing and contact tracing is the best way to prevent the spread of active COVID-19 cases, along with hand washing and wearing masks. The state also uses testing data to decide when to loosen restrictions on businesses and gatherings. Meanwhile, Minnesota is facing a multi-billion-dollar budget hole. The current forecast shows a $4.7 billion hole for the state's next 2-year spending period. The Minnesota Management and Budget Office said Friday that the pandemic has made economic conditions extremely volatile as a new planning estimate shows a continued deterioration of state finances. Even though the state has received more than $2 billion of financial relief from the feds, that money can't be used to offset revenue losses. Earlier this year, the state had a surplus of nearly $1.5 billion. If you're one of thousands of people who went to the rodeo in Effie last weekend, you might have been exposed to the coronavirus. Health officials say a person who attended the rodeo started experiencing symptoms afterwards and tested positive. They determined the person was contagious when they were at the event. There is no way to know how many people were exposed. Health officials are asking everyone who went to monitor for symptoms. The state had asked the organizer to limit the number of people who attended the rodeo. Instead, he waived the ticket fee. Thousands came out to protest the state's regulations designed to prevent the spread of the virus. Some Itasca County hospitals are testing rodeo attendees for free. We have details on that on our website. Even though it was branded as a protest, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is now suing the organizer for violating the state's crowd size rules and taking steps to prevent the spread of the COVID virus. This is the first time Ellison has taken legal action to enforce the governor's executive order. Meanwhile, health officials are investigating a COVID outbreak at a camp in Ashland County. 14 confirmed cases have been connected to Camp Eagle Ridge in Mellon. That's about a half-hour south of Ashland. Health experts say most of the cases are among camp staff, and they're working with the county to stop any further spread. Campers and staff are said to have had little interaction with the community. All campers returned home as soon as the outbreak was identified. Excuse me. President Trump sat down with officials in Florida to discuss the coronavirus pandemic and approaching hurricane. Here's Skylar Henry.
With storm warnings and watches up for Florida's Atlantic coast, President Trump touched down in Tampa to discuss how to deal with Hurricane Isaias in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic.
I ask all of those in the path of the storm to follow the guidance of your state, local, and tribal officials.
Normally, you might evacuate. This time, more advice is going to focus on sheltering in place.
Earlier in the day, President Trump tweeted his criticism of Democrats for questioning America's coronavirus testing capabilities, even as his testing czar acknowledged real problems with the system.
Would it be possible for our nation to have results for all COVID tests completed and returned within 48 and 72 hours?
It is not a possible benchmark we can achieve today, given the demand and the supply.
At the same hearing Friday, Congressman Jim Jordan pushed Dr. Anthony Fauci to say protests should be shut down after the infectious disease expert said crowds help spread the virus.
I said crowds. I didn't say specifically. I didn't say protests do anything.
So the protests don't increase the spread of the virus?
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth.
Fighting between the White House and Congress has so far prevented a deal on a new coronavirus relief package.
It is a disgrace that they're not negotiating. But they're only looking to play a political game. I happen to think it's a bad political game. I think it hurts them.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says it's not a game.
We want to help America's working families, and they want to give tax cuts to the richest people. Why can't they come to agreement? We don't have shared values. That's just the way it is. So it's not bickering. It's standing our ground.
Millions of Americans on unemployment are losing their extra $600 a week in federal benefits as of today.
Trump administration officials are scheduled to meet with Democratic congressional leaders tomorrow morning. Closer to home, North Shore Mining and Babbitt and Silver Bay are expected to restart next week. The Cliff facilities idled this past spring due to the economic impacts of the coronavirus. Cleveland Cliff CEO says the restart coincides with the comeback of the big three automakers. That's General Motors, Ford, and Fiat Chrysler. Their shutdown forced Cliffs to lay off 470 of its 570 employees in April. Meanwhile, U.S. Steel's Keetac is still idled with 370 people laid off. Another U.S. Steel mine, Mintac, is almost back to full capacity. 38 employees there are still on a voluntary layoff, but 6 others on involuntary layoffs went back to work this week. And Hibtac production restarted last weekend, putting hundreds of laid-off workers back on the job. A Wisconsin college is using its new fire truck to train local firefighters. Wisconsin Indian Head Technical College has added the truck to their fleet, equipped with the most up-to-date technology. Today, they made a stop at the Superior Fire Hall. Training is available for all skill levels, ranging from entry-level to advanced classes. Fire Services Director Tim Halber says it gives firefighters the chance to practice necessary skills and real-life scenarios. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, how you can best equip your children to handle distance learning this fall.
We are ending July 1.4 inches more than normal for rain. But that still isn't enough to solve the first half of the year's big 6-inch deficit. So We still need some more rain. We could get a little bit tomorrow. I'll talk about how much could come coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 10 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
At the top, the bargain shop.
When you want new furniture with styles that are nice, and we've made very special buys that are always the right price.
Now in all home furniture stores.
Got a big stop at the bargain shop.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get great deals across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise. For a limited time, get $6,000 total cash on an F-150. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer today.
Vehicle accidents are stressful enough. You don't need someone showing up at the scene trying to pressure you into letting them tow away your vehicle, often falsely claiming they were dispatched by the police or an insurance company. Be wary of any unsolicited tow truck that arrives on the scene of an accident. In fact, in some places, it's illegal. Motorists should not feel pressured to agree to a tow. Call your roadside assistance provider or insurance company for towing company suggestions, or consult with police on the scene. Always get the price and terms in writing along with the location of the tow yard before letting a tow truck driver hook up your vehicle and take it away. If you suspect fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. That's 1-800-TEL-NICB, or visit our website, www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
A major ruling by the state's high court will tell you why some
they had sales. They also say that people are ready to get out and shop.
Hope for an old mining project.
With the legislative session ending last
The Miller Hill Mall in Duluth is open once again.
They gave us 3 hours to shut down, and they gave us 10 seconds to open.
Local reaction after 650 people were laid off.
Lawmakers in Minnesota can't
To stay up to date with the news and weather that impacts you and your community, continue watching Live, local, CBS3.
When you want a great deal on mattresses,
Got a big stop at the bargain shop.
how about a twin mattress for $58 or a queen mattress for just $149?
Gotta make a stop at the bargain shop.
In all home furniture stores.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS3. Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, tonight's viewer picture comes from our good friend Peter Mack on Lake Vermilion. And as I've mentioned in the past, when you see storm systems coming in from the northwest, they come in from this direction. And so Peter got this shot earlier this evening, indeed, of the clouds associated with our latest low pressure system coming across Fraser Bay and taking over the red sky over the south shore of Lake Vermilion. Well, as we get past midnight here tonight, we do start to bump into our rain chances. And if they pay off, they could stick around through Sunday morning. And by the time we get to Sunday morning, then I think a lot of towns could run about a quarter to a half inch worth of rain. We do need it because even though we're about 1.5 inches over for the month of July, the first part of the year's deficit still means we need to play a good game of catch-up. This won't be everything we need, but of course, every little bit helps. What's going on at the airport right now? Well, it's dry and calm there now. 68 degrees the current temp, 73% for the relative humidity. But in a couple of hours, we could start to get some rain showers and maybe isolated thunderstorms. 29.96 inches of mercury is the barometric pressure, and that's down a little bit from the last time we spoke, and so the low is getting closer. And it's lifting up the clouds, and those clouds kicking out the rain chance. That'll be with us for about a day and a half. All right, current temps in the Upper Peninsula go from 58 to 63. Northern Wisconsin runs from 60 towards Ashland to 67 around Superior. Everybody else in between. Minnesota numbers, a bit of a wider range. 59 in Hibbing gives way to a 63 down towards Moose Lake. 72, though, still for International Falls. So that cold front associated with the approaching low-pressure system hasn't quite made it to that part of our world yet. But when it does, That could stir up the shower and storm chance. For Minnesotans, it's going to be 60-70%. And for folks in Wisconsin and the UP, starting tomorrow morning, 70%, fairly early on, about 50-60%. Well, right now, not too much action is happening. It's more towards Fargo than anything close to our neck of the woods, though we're starting to see a little bit of that precip starting to graze the International Falls area there. Well, again, keep in mind the rain chances, an all-day event, it seems, on Saturday, perhaps on and off, but it'll be there, coming every couple of hours here as the low spins like the spokes of a wheel. Well, the wheel should skedaddle out of here once we get into Sunday, fairly early on Sunday too, and then cooler high pressure from Canada comes to call, so we dry up on one hand, and on the other, it's going to cool down. July was warmer than normal. August is starting cooler than normal. Forecast tonight in Minnesota. The low temps there should be in the 50s for the most part, though 60 not out of the question down towards Moose Lake. Increasing clouds. They increase in Wisconsin, Michigan too, with low temps there, mid to upper 50s. And so tomorrow, daytime high temps, Wisconsin, Michigan, 78 to 81, with the 50% chance for showers and storms. And there's the 70% chance for showers and storms in Minnesota, with mid to upper 70s inland, low 70s by the lake. That cold front kicking up the storm chance kicks down the temperatures by Sunday. We top out at 70. Best bet. I'm a little optimistic. Some of the models still say only the 60s, but I put it at 70 for Sunday, Monday. And then slowly warming Tuesday through Thursday. And by next weekend, back to normal or so, which is around 77 degrees this time of year, Tony.
70 and sunny sounds good. Thanks, Dave. The need for remote learning tools has never been higher. School districts across the state are releasing fall learning plans, which are required to include a distance learning option. That means parents are left figuring out what extra devices their child will need. CBS3's Leanne Valdez spoke to a local tech expert and has more.
2020's school supply list just got a little longer.
Headsets, microphones, webcams.
As districts across Minnesota roll out their learning plan, some schools are having children stay home to learn. IT director at DiscoverPC.net, Travis Elm, says you should ask school officials now what your child will need to save you a trip to the store later on.
Because if you're going to school, you probably have that stuff available there, but when you're at home, what do?
Next is making sure your internet connection is reliable.
Internet connections, they kind of say 25 is the high speed or the starting at high speed, but really you need to look at the upload. What is the upload quality?
Elm says having a good upload speed makes for a clearer video chat. A quiet place can also keep your children on track.
Finding a room in the house that is, quiet and is able so that you can hear. And again, it's kind of the headset or earbud. Good webcam, and then having that noise isolation so you're not having the rest of the family, all that noise, so that they can actually listen to what the teacher's saying.
Elm says a second screen could be useful for taking notes.
So a second screen is one of the big things, kind of an optional thing, but it is nice. I mean, it really is more productive that way.
Investing in protection software could also be beneficial.
Your kid is being video broadcast across the internet, and whatever they're typing, whatever they're searching, could be compromised if you don't have good protection on it.
Elm also says there's software that parents can download and buy that limits screen time for children and makes sure they only stay on the sites they're supposed to. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, nearly a decade after the 2012 flood, crews are still unearthing the damage left behind. Details coming up.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
The nursing program at Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is really challenging, but it has to be. It's approved by the Board of Nursing. And graduates here have been successfully passing the state board exam. They give you real-world experience with healthcare institutions across the community. I'm really glad I chose Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College.
Helping to make memories for generations. Numi Jewelers.
You work hard for your money and deserve to see it go the extra mile. Join us Wednesday mornings and hear from local experts on tips to better manage your finances in Eye on Money on Live Local CBS 3. Brought to you by MPPL Financial. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3. Every second of every day, it happens. Something big, something worth talking about. News happens, and you can't wait for it. You need to be constantly digging, asking, hunting, wanting more. More truth, more real answers. More who, what, where, when, and why. And it's about you. It's about now. It's about wherever, whenever. At Live Local CBS3, it's about the news. Your neighborhood news. Join the Greater Downtown Council for Movies in the Parking Lot. Friday nights all summer long. Watch movies from the comfort of your vehicle. Reserve your $10 parking spot ahead of time at downtownduluth.com/events/movies in the park. Present your digital ticket at the gate and enjoy. Bring your own food or have snacks from the concession stands. Here's what's playing this week. Presented by Carlson Orthodontics and Live Local CBS3.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is the heart of our community. So many of the things we love about Duluth can be found right here, from businesses to attractions. And now, most of them are open and working hard so you can safely enjoy them. Our local restaurants, breweries, shops, salons, and attractions help weave the unique fabric of our community. They make us stand out. And when you support them, your dollars stay in our community, helping to boost our economy. Show your love for Duluth's local businesses. We can't wait to see you.
I chose a career that isn't easy, it's dangerous, and it's hard. Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College has set me up with everything I need to succeed. Through challenging classes, longer defensive tactics training, and instructors who work in the industry, Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is setting me up for success.
Classic Rock KQ is once again the Northland's #1 radio station. The KQ Morning Show, the most listened to radio program in the Northland. The KQ Train Wreck, the Northland's #1 afternoon show. Thank you for making us the Northland's #1 radio station. 95 KQDS.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
New at 10, 8 years later, we're still finding reminders of the 2012 flood and the devastating destruction it caused. Duluth City crews spent the day pulling metal culverts from Lester River near East Superior Street. They're thought to have come all the way down from Jean Duluth Road, which is several miles away. City reps say they haven't been able to reach these culverts because of the depth and diversity of the Lester River, but they think recent storms and increased water flow pushed them towards the swimming hole near Superior Street and Lester River Road. Crews used a crane to help move them today. They hope this will make the area safer for swimmers. The June 2012 floods were sparked by a storm that dropped more than 7 inches of rain on parts of Duluth within about 24 hours and up to 10 inches elsewhere. A first-of-its-kind tournament is happening in the Superior Municipal Forest this weekend. The Lake Superior Open Disc Golf Tournament took place today on a newly completed 18-hole course. Many of the holes are on the popular winter cross-country ski trails. To keep group sizes as small as possible, players registered for tee times. Organizers say disc golf is a great way to get people outside. The tournament continues from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. tomorrow. Visitors are also welcome to come out and watch. Drivers on the North Shore will want to watch for a detour starting next week. On Monday, Highway 61 will be closed at Grand Marais. You'll be detoured to County Road 7. The closure will be in place for about a month while crews replace a box culvert just south of Grand Marais. You will still be able to access homes and businesses. Coming up in sports, Twins trek on for Game 2 against the Cleveland Indians. Kelly has highlights next.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Here at Memorial Medical Center, we really care about treating the patient as a whole. Instead of looking at the patient as a hip or as a knee, we look at how their hip or the knee affects their life. I'm Joe Signorelli, orthopedic surgeon, and I've been doing joint replacement surgery for 7 years. It's really important for a patient to be comfortable where they're receiving their care. And so if we can provide high quality care at an affordable cost in their home community, I think that's advantageous for the patient. I think they really appreciate it.
School's starting. Is your internet fast enough? Gear up during Extreme's end of the summer sale. Get fast internet as low as $19.99 a month for 1 year. Extreme's fiber-powered internet gets an A+ for performance with speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Powerful in-home Wi-Fi and 99.99% network reliability. Hurry and get Extreme internet for as low as $19.99 a month for a year. Dial 844-EXTREME2. It's the smart call.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host.
That's a standing ovation.
And the stars love it too.
You're so good.
America's Sweetheart is a hit and everything we love.
Oh my God!
This is why we connect. Hey. You say y'all, I say y'all.
That's how you say it.
Hey, you're wrong.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live Local CBS3.
Dude! You gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
When news happens, CBS3 is there.
We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night.
More cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS3.
When a crisis strikes, cash is the best form of relief. It can easily be transformed into health services, water, food, or clothes. Cash can travel everywhere and aid people all around the world. Donate. Smart. Fast. Donate cash.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Last night, someone named Bieber, Shane Bieber that is, was absolutely dealing on the bump, completely shutting out the Twins in the first of a 4-game series with the Cleveland Indians. Twins trying to get something going in Game 2 tonight at Target Field with the Tribe. And this'll help. First batter, Max Kepler. This guy should forever and always have the number 1 by his name in the batting order. A solo shot to start off the ball game. That's the second time he's done that this year, and it's his 3rd homer on the year total. Next inning, Twins led by 3. Catcher Alex Avila turns on this one, pulls it into the seats in right field. His first home run as a member of the Twins. He makes it 4-0. And on the mound, Randy Dobnak was dealing. He gets Franmil Rise to go down swinging in the 4th. 5 innings and 4 strikeouts on the night for him, and the Twins pull it off just a few minutes ago, 4-1, the final. March 10th, that was the last time the Milwaukee Bucks set foot on the floor to play a basketball game. Over 4 months later, a potential playoff preview. The Bucks face off against the Celtics in the bubble. Fast start for the Bucks, and reigning MVP of the league, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez with the block off the drive. Jason Tatum on one end, and the Greek Freak finishes strong on the other. Bucks with the 15-point lead, jump to the 3rd. Boston not backing down. Kemba Walker steps into the 3, and the Bucks lead is cut to 3. To the 4th, Milwaukee trying to put the game on ice, and Giannis plays pick and roll with Chris Middleton, and Antetokounmpo finishes drawing the foul in the process. 36 points for him. Bucks pick up win number 53, 119-112 for the final. It was announced on Thursday that the UMAC would move conference matchups for football, men's and women's soccer, and volleyball to this coming spring, leaving only golf and cross country as the sports set to take place this fall. UW Superior Athletic Director Nick Bursick explained on a conference call on Thursday what those meets could look like when they happen come this fall.
We're looking forward to having those experiences. Those sports in and of itself will have a conference-only schedule, and then we will have some safety protocols put in place to when we do go out and compete that are going to change the experience a little bit in terms of just helping minimize some of the risk. But we're looking forward to at least being able to provide those student athletes with that experience.
Tonight, the Milwaukee Brewers were getting set to host the St. Louis Cardinals in their home opener. Those plans quickly changed when 2 members of the Cardinals tested positive for COVID-19, putting the game on hold. The league released a statement today saying the decision was consistent with protocols to allow enough time for additional testing and contact tracing to be conducted. Yesterday's game was rescheduled as part of a doubleheader, or today's game was rescheduled as part of a doubleheader on Sunday. And tomorrow's game will go on as planned. Brewers owner Mark Antanasio says player safety is first and foremost, but he's still confident the league will be able to finish the season.
How we will handle the coronavirus is a challenge, not only for baseball and finishing the season, but it's a challenge for all of us. We've all had to change our lives. We are all committed, I believe, and I've talked to a number of players today, to finishing the season. I'm sure there's a lot of perspectives. From my perspective, the question is how to best proceed so that we can see this season through.
We'll wait and see what the future of the league is. That's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
This summer, it's time to get back outdoors. Your Honda dealer is open and ready to get you into a new Honda today. Enjoy the sunshine in the family-friendly Pilot or the rugged Passport. Visit the Honda Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal from Honda, KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand. Get a great deal on the Pilot at the Honda Summer Clearance Event today.
This thing is really dusty.
Storm damage happens, and when it does, turn to Peak Construction Roofing, the Northland's storm damage experts. Peak simplifies the process for you every step of the way. We offer insurance claims assistance and free storm damage inspections. Call Peak Construction Roofing today and let us take care of you.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host. What? And the stars love it too.
It's so good.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on live, local CBS3.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is the heart of our community. So many of the things we love about Duluth can be found right here, from businesses to attractions. And now, most of them are open and working hard so you can safely enjoy them. Our local restaurants, breweries, shops, salons, and attractions help weave the unique fabric of our community. They make us stand out. And when you support them, your dollars stay in our community, helping to boost our economy. Show your love for Duluth's local businesses. We can't wait to see you.
When news breaks, be the first to know with CBS3. Alerting you with our mobile app, taking you live to the scene.
A lot of protesters walking.
Bringing you complete coverage on air. Showing you what's happening now, what's next, how it affects you.
There's a massive fire. We have a crew there live
Focused
now.
on urgency. Focused on accuracy. When news breaks in your neighborhood, be the first to know. With live, local CBS3. Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Mainstream is your wedding headquarters. Downtown Duluth.
Coca-Cola is mixing it up, debuting Coke with coffee next year. It will combine regular Coke with Brazilian coffee, and it comes in 3 flavors: dark blend, vanilla, and caramel. The drinks will have double the caffeine of regular Coke. Now, Coke has launched a product with coffee before. It was 14 years ago. Coca-Cola Black was discontinued 2 years later. The company said the timing back then just wasn't right, but now consumer tastes have changed. Coke's competitor, Pepsi, launched a limited-time coffee-infused cola last year. You gonna try that? I know you like Diet Coke and you like coffee.
I get the idea, but it sounds nasty.
Dave, does that sound up your alley at all?
If they have a diet version, I might give it a shot.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotta
Double the
keep awake
caffeine.
for these late nights watching storms.
Yeah, exactly. Which should be rolling in, huh?
Yeah, but they won't be as wild as the last 2 weekends. I don't think they're going to cross the severe threshold, so it'll be a little bit easier going. Still a little thunder and lightning possible Saturday in through early Sunday morning, but again, not the big, nasty tornadic storms like the past 2 weekends, or the big, huge rains like last weekend. And then once that passes, Sunday gets a Canadian high-pressure system to come to call, and it'll clear us up and cool us down a little bit. July was way warmer than normal 4+ inches warm, or 4+ degrees warmer than normal. Now we start August on a cooler note, going about 5 degrees cooler than normal, at least for a week. Next week may hold something different, though, and of course, keep an eye on CBS3, and we'll keep you abreast of every week.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.